this street glide, we had a problem with it dying from time to time. No real rhyme or reason, no real pattern, just cruising down the road, could be on the highway, could be puttering through town. It would just shut off, and it's like you turned the switch off. So we ended up running codes to see what we had, and I'll go ahead and attempt to show you that here, how we pulled the codes. With the main ignition switch off, we're going to go ahead and turn the run to run. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to push and hold the odometer, the reset button. And you can see the odometer comes on. Then I'm going to turn the ignition switch to on. And when I do that, then you should see the diagnostics, and then we'll go from there. So let me zoom in on that. All right, run switch is set to run. I'm going to push and hold that odometer reset. I'm going to turn the ignition just to the on position. See the words DIAG. I'm going to release the button. Push it again. Now you get the PSSPT. If I wanted to cycle through the different modules, I just push it and it'll go through the different modules. But the first P, that's the one that I want. That's our basically the PCM, powertrain control module, ECM, whatever you want to call it. It's the computer that runs the engine. I'm going to push and hold this reset button until we come up with hopefully codes. And here's the P0261. Push the button once. P0263. Push the button again. P1001. Now, this is not the original code I had at a P1003, but this P1001 is because I've got the relay removed, and that is showing me what that code is. All right, I had two codes. One I think was a P0291, a 293, and a P1003. The 291, 293 were injector low. Could be I had an open on the ground side or the PCM side of the injector where I had no power to the injectors. The other one was a problem with my system relay. Now, that system relay powers both injectors. It also will power the ignition coil, and it also sends power to the fuel pump fuse. So if that were to lose power for some reason or other, it could give me the injector codes. So first thing I did was take a look and see where this relay was, just to see if I had a problem with it. And the relay just kind of plugged right in there. Now, as I was looking, I noticed the fuse. One side of the fuse appeared to be burned. Now, this was plugged in. It's my ECM power. And if you look, can you see how those legs are bent, especially the one with the burned side? Wish I could get them even closer to get a good close-up there. But that is definitely burned. It burned it to the point where it started melting the plastic. It also sort of kind of welded some garbage onto that one leg. Now, what had happened, I don't know if this was factory. The thing's got 60,000 miles on it, so it's hard to believe it lasted that long from the factory, but perhaps it did. This leg actually did not go into the center of that terminal. It jammed down across the side of the terminal, which didn't do things very good as far as electrical connectivity goes. Let's see if I can show you. Here's the terminal. And this fuse is supposed to slide down in like that in the fuse box. Now, unfortunately, the bad side here did not go down into the center there. It worked its way down the side. So this thing was sitting like this inside that fuse box for who knows how long. And as a result of that poor connection, this terminal got hot, and it got to the point where it started again to melt that fuse. Now, if it hadn't have been for that, I might not have ever caught that, but fortunately, there it was. So that's what led to the terminal getting hot enough to melt the case here, and that again what necessitated the replacement of this terminal right in there. Okay, here's the fuse block. Now I've already replaced the terminal. You can see here it kind of looks a little burned. It's where it started to melt because of the poor contact between the terminal and the fuse. So I'm recording this after the fact. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you how to remove these terminals. These are just a spare, and we got just a little jumper wire in there. No power, no circuit. It's just there kind of keeping those terminals in place. Now on either side of the terminals here, we've got this channel. This is the lock channel. So I'm going to have to push a little tool similar to this down on each one to hopefully compress or depress those barbs, so it'll allow me to pull that terminal out. Now I'm going to take a tool like this, and I'm going to put it down into each of those little channels right there. So I need to start it like that. We'll turn it up on the end so you can see. While I'm doing that, I'm going to push this wire and hold it up in there, so hopefully it keeps that terminal clear up on the uppermost travel here. So when I push this down, I'm going to push them down as far as they'll go. That should compress the barbs and allow me to withdraw the terminal right there. Now here's our terminal removed. I'll withdraw the tool. Now these little barbs here, these are the things that tool came down and compressed. So I needed both of these to come down and compress those barbs so I could withdraw it from the body of our fuse block. And basically what I did is I snipped the old terminal from the wire, and then I went ahead and crimped a new one in place. I've got the old terminal cut off. It's removed from the fuse block there. So now I'm going to go ahead and strip this wire, and we'll put a new terminal in. All right, that's probably all I need. All right, here's a new terminal. Fuse blade will just go right in there. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp this in, this portion right here. It's going to get a W crimp. It's going to grab hold of the wire. And this set of wings here should just be kind of a round crimp. I could try a W crimp. That's going to hold it onto the wire. So I'm going to put it in my crimper first. All right, I'll just set it in the crimper. I'm going to slide the wire into that terminal there. See if I can get out of my light. And I can squeeze this till it crimps it nice and tight. I hope that's the plan. Pull it out of the crimper, and if all goes well, I will have a nice solid W crimp. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just begin to fold these over. And I'll go ahead and attempt to W crimped on there. The original one just had a round crimp. I think W would probably hold on a little bit better. So we'll try it. All right, I don't know if you can see that well enough there, but here's W crimp. Now, these little wings right here and right over here, these guys are actually what's going to hold it in place in the fuse holder. So he's going to drop right into there, or actually be pushed into there, and if all goes well, these little wings will grab hold and keep them in place. That's the plan anyways. So we'll find the cavity. Push him and get him so he snaps into place. All right, it's up in there. Tug on it, make sure he doesn't come out. And I don't know if we can see that or not. But there he is. He is in the place there that had heated up and actually started to burn because of the poor connection from that bad fuse. So I've got all of that done. I've got a new fuse. I will put him in its place. We'll put the relay back in, and we'll see if the little beastie will fire up and hopefully run code free. This is a replacement relay I got from Drag Specialties. I didn't want to take a chance on perhaps that old relay giving me problems. So, I've got him in. Cross your fingers and see what happens. Running. No more check engine light. So now I'll put the seat and everything back on, saddlebags, take it out, flog it a little bit, make sure it doesn't come back.